So how I get everybody shoulder hooping is that I teach chest hooping first. I want to make sure before I teach anyone to chest hoop or shoulder hoop that they can waist hoop and they understand the concepts of pushing the hoop. The second thing is I want to make sure that they understand isolating the rib cage, because I teach only the 4-point isolation method to beginners. I may get into the rolling method and making the actual triangle on the floor with the feet and rolling into the hoop. But I don't teach that first. I usually do that after we've worked on static chest hooping. Refer back to the warm-up and stretch videos that I have. You know, you need to understand how to isolate that movement. And of those 4 pushes, you've got strong. I'm going to the left, so that's going to be my strong push, strongest in the back, this push and that. And that's what we work on without the hoop. And I talk about the barrel around the body, and close your eyes and paint that barrel. Like paintbrushes are sticking out from your bra line. Visualize the rib cage circling the inside of the hoop. Work on developing a strong back push. Again, use the moves, passing around the body, spinning around the hand, doing it above the head work. This is all going to strengthen back there. Go back to the roots of African dance and really push, turn on some music. That is the push that I'm talking about that's really going to sustain the hoop up on the upper body. How much space, okay, are you going to allow for the hoop to hit in this area and roll up here? And it's spinning around the body. It's not going to be hitting the boobs. It's going to be hitting above that. The way that you create the most space, and this is a big offender I see a lot of people, is the hoop like this, the chest hoop right up here, and the hoop, you know, their hands are above it. You want to train yourself with as high as possible and create more space. I realize that's hard to do when you're first learning, but just that awareness of lifting the shoulders, okay, because you've got to create an area here, and the higher you can reach up, all right? And again, look up, because if you look down, that makes it very difficult. So you've got to look up and then keep that big space open. Go back to the beginning waist hooping video. If you've not seen it, we're going to do the exact same thing with getting the hoop spinning. My free videos are over on my website, but I have everybody do just this and get a flat spin and just let the hoop fall. You're going to do that same kind of thing with a chest hoop, okay? But you're not going to try to push the hoop. You're just going to get in the habit of pushing it and seeing if you can get a couple of rotations without, you know, moving, okay? What you're doing is you're training yourself to get your hands up out of the way and lift and just see. Don't try to push it. Now, from this point, you're going to start to use just a back push. You're not going to do a 4-point isolation. You're just going to use a back push. I'm going to show you from the side. And you're going to try to get it to be sustaining with just that back push, okay? And yeah, you're going to lean forward a little bit, but you're trying to develop a strong back push. This is a drill that a lot of people stay at for a while, but they also, at the same time they're doing it, they're working through some passing and doing overhead work, using those arms and shoulders and back muscles and getting them stronger to support this in the future. Feel when it actually hits the back, rolls across your back, you're going to push it with your back push. And it's going to drop. You're not going to be able to sustain it. That's okay. But if you can practice without a hoop, put some music on, like you know, real good beat, and just go bum, bum, bum. And start to identify that you have an upper back push, because up to this point, if you've been doing waist and hips and all that, you're going to identify with a forward push a lot, or 3 points for hip, but you're not going to identify with a back push. So you've got to teach yourself that once it gets past a certain level, you got to start pushing with your back more. So that's like the next step. And then once you have that, then you're going to start thinking about your 3-point or 4-point isolation, and painting the hoop on the inside of, you know, those paintbrushes and closing your eyes. And that visualization helps you get all of that area covered. And then you're pushing with the lead push. Remember how it goes, bump, 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 bump. And so you're doing 4 points, okay? But remember, your hands are up. So you can practice this without a hoop on. No. You've got to learn with them up here. And that's what takes this out of you the most, I think. And I teach this first so that you can boom and really get your cardio built up. Because this takes a whole lot more than waist hooping does. Because you're not using your legs. You're having to propel your body, your heart center, and you're having to work, okay, and get a lot of power with that back. You're not pressing with the chest, by the way. That is your heart center. You don't want to press that into anything. You're just going to let the hoop roll over it. But it is the 4th point. It's just a point of contact, not too much of a push at all, okay? But what about shoulder hooping? Okay, first of all, don't worry about shoulder hooping. Get your chest hooping really good, okay? I'm telling you, it's going to pay off in the long run because all shoulder hooping is taking one arm down and the other arm, and the pushes are still the same. Everything's the same. It's just that your arms are inside. Chest and shoulder hooping are a process, and the steps to get there start way before you ever put that hoop up in the chest area. You have to start with a strong hoop practice on your body, and also a stretch practice and a warm-up practice that includes strengthening and stamina building exercises. That's exactly why I created aRoundJoy Basics, which includes my 4 free waist hooping videos and bonuses like this series. I'm so excited to help anyone that's ready to get stronger in their personal hoop practice by building a great foundation